Okay, everyone, welcome to another edition of Unstoppable REI. I am here. I forgot to make sure that I have pronounced your last name correctly, but I know it's Janine Ortez. I
uh,
messed it up.
that's okay. That's all right. I know it's kind of a tricky name, and it doesn't look at all the way it's pronounced. So it's
Yes.
Janae Ortiz.
Oh my gosh. I thought I was on top of it. Janae Ortiz.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry,
No,
Janae.
it's okay.
And I have a cousin with a similar first name. She spells it differently. I think her last she's it's Janae, is how she pronounces her first name, but yours is Janae. I like that. That's very French, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, it's. I think I'm not French, so if
Okay.
anyone out there listening is French, I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, but I
Yeah.
have heard that the way it's spelled is actually jeune, which means young in French.
Oh,
So
nice. Okay. Well,
yeah,
well, maybe you don't know, but my last name is French. Thibodeau.
yeah,
I
yeah.
am from New Orleans, which is very French. And so I always like to key in on French names, even though I totally butchered yours. So we'll have to practice it. I'll have it down pat the next time we get together. So anyway, so let's get going. Let's get started. I mean, I absolutely love what you're doing, and I wanna talk more about the REI social and all that stuff. So, but tell me sort of how you guys. Well, tell me what you do, how you got started with that, and kind of give us your story.
Okay, yeah, sure. So let's see, way back in the day, I actually was an internet marketer, and I did that for about 18 years. I had my own digital marketing agency where we built websites, and,
Okay.
and we just did the whole gambit, SEO and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I fell into the world of real estate investor education,
Okay.
which I really love because I really wanted to do something in education, and it would happen to be training and developing curriculum and training investors on how to use online strategies to build their business.
Okay.
And so, of course, living and breathing in that world, there was nothing I could do but become an investor too. So
Of course. Right. 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 You get two for the price of one. Right. Yeah.
you can only swim in that Kool-Aid for so long before you realize it's just the smart thing to do.
Yes. That's very, very true. So I'm sorry. I cut you off. Keep going.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. And so I talked to really thousands of investors, and they all had a very similar struggle, which is how do I do all this marketing
Okay.
and still run my business? And once I became an investor, I really, really understood what they were talking about. It got very real for me.
Yeah.
And so one thing I decided to do was create REI Social, which is it's ready to publish social media, which really helps to cut down on the time of marketing because investors don't need to think about what to say. They don't need to try to become a copywriter or a graphic
Yeah.
designer or anything else.
And I really love that. And it's. Would you say that it's totally done for you? I mean, you have to do. It's kind of like fill in the blanks. So what percentage of work would I have to do as a real estate investor? That's what I'm concerned about. What about me?
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah.
It is about 90% done. I'll say
Okay.
that.
That's a
See,
lot.
it is a lot.
Yeah.
So you get 30 days of posts. So it's, if the month has 28 days, you'll get 28 days of posts. But
Okay.
the captions are pre-written.
Okay.
And so there are going to be some fill in the blanks. So you
Gotcha.
may have to put in your business name and fill out some details about what your specific, investments need to look like. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
are
Which
you
yeah.
commercial or single family, things like
Sure.
that.
So that kind of
Yeah.
helps you to customize it to your business, your niche, your company.
Yeah.
So now here's something that I struggle with too, and I wonder if what percentage of real estate investors or people in general struggle with this, but because I write copy, writing copy isn't necessarily the same as writing a post. Would you say is that correct? So it's not
Uh,
like an ad. A post is not necessarily an ad, or can it be an ad? Or what's the
it could
difference?
be. I mean, you
Okay,
could use the post as an ad if you wanted to.
I see.
But yeah, it's all of the copy that goes on top of whatever image that you're posting.
Okay,
So that's basically what's pre-written for you.
got it. Okay, cool. So tell me what do you like best about what you do? I mean, you still invest in real estate too, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So, would you say what percentage of your time? I mean, it's like half and half real estate investing in REI social. I mean, what?
I would say probably REI Social. I'm doing a little more of that right
Okay,
now
gotcha.
because and it's going to ebb and flow. Once I get into my next deal, that really takes over, and so then I kind of cool my heels a little bit on the REI Social side. But the content is always going to be developed, and that is the primary thing that I do on that side of the
Got it.
business.
Okay, cool. So what do you like best about doing that?
About doing REI Social,
Yeah, yeah.
well, honestly, I think it's being able to help other investors build their business.
Okay,
I am a marketer by trade,
okay,
and because of that, it is just like in my DNA to be able to help people build their business. I mean,
okay.
that's what really fires me up. And when they start having success because the marketing is starting to work for them,
Yeah,
that just it fills my heart because I know that through them, I am actually able to help other sellers,
sure.
offload these burden properties. And so if I can help more investors, help more sellers,
Yeah.
that would just make my day.
I love that. And I was listening to, I absolutely love all of your videos. But there's one in particular that I heard recently that I really, really liked, really spoke to me because you were talking about basically the idea that all these marketing strategies work because you kind of get, it's easy to get hung up on, well, this is not working. I need this. Oh, that's not working. Kind of the shiny object syndrome.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm sure that's your marketing background coming from that. But yeah, and can you speak to that a little bit? I mean, like the thing that people, the I guess the thing that makes it that makes the difference. I mean, how kind of what you were talking about a little bit in that video.
Sure. Yeah. I believe that video, the number one skill that
Yes.
investors needed to develop. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Right.
that skill is delayed gratification.
Gotcha. Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, marketing works, all marketing works. And that's what I was saying in that video. I mean,
Yeah.
if you dedicate yourself to only doing direct mail, well, you're going to start getting houses. If you dedicate yourself to doing text messaging, you're going to get houses.
Yeah.
The thing is that people get really anxious and they start looking around, they see their other investors are getting houses and they're like, that should have been my house, right?
Yeah.
So they start getting antsy, and so they dump whatever marketing they were doing and they trade it in for another type of marketing. But really, they're starting from scratch because
Right.
they have to learn that all over again. They have to learn what makes that marketing tick. And so it was kind of I was imploring investors to please just stick with the thing that you will do, because
Yeah.
if all marketing works, then the best marketing for you is the one that you actually do.
And that's so crazy, because I have a marketing background, and but that I, mean, I find myself doing that too. That it's just, it's like, you try to come up with I don't know, the some kind of new idea, some kind of,
The magic bullet.
yeah, magic bullet. Yeah, when it's
Yeah.
just the foundational things are what work and they'll always work, but the key, the missing ingredient is, the delayed gratification. I mean, just do it, expect that, hey, you know what, I'm gonna stick to this for the next 6 months or the next, 90 days or whatever it is, and you'll start to see results, and obviously that'll get you motivated to build your confidence to keep going. But people don't, everybody wants something quick. In fact, I was telling somebody the other day, or actually earlier today, I love ice cream. Are you an ice cream person?
Ice cream is not one of my favorites, but
Okay,
I
okay.
can appreciate
You
that.
can appreciate it. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, my point was that I like melted ice cream, but I don't want to wait for it to melt. I always put it in the microwave. So it's like, speaking,
Uh,
so I have to work. I have to work on my delayed gratification.
that's
But
awesome.
that's for another episode. But anyway, so how are some of the ways that real estate investors could leverage, your knowledge of social media and REI social in particular?
Well, there are many different ways, right?
Okay.
I've got a Facebook group, and
Okay.
you can join the Facebook group, and that's where you saw this video that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So I upload content in there, and it really is a free resource for investors to learn how to leverage social media. So there's that. But I also have my membership, which is called the Content Club, and that is the ready to publish social media posts. And along with that, besides the social media content that you get, there's also training inside of the dashboard to help you understand it more, to help you understand why the posts are created the way they are and what they're meant to help you do. So
Yeah.
even if you're a brand new investor, it's almost like a paint by numbers marketing system for you.
Okay. Nice. And why is social media so important? I mean, what's the big deal about that? I mean, is there? I mean, just tell me what's the big deal of social media? Why is it so important?
I'm really glad that you asked that question,
Yeah.
actually. I just did a video yesterday. I think I just put it up today.
Okay.
And it sort of drives home the point of why social media is so important. So
Okay.
first of all, let's take a look at our two different kind of marketing methods. We have a type of marketing method that a lot of investors are most familiar with, which is hunting for their deal.
Right.
So whether it's driving for dollars, door knocking, cold calling, SMS, you get a list or you get a neighborhood and you hit the pavement or you
Yeah.
send out the text. And that marketing method is really good when you're doing it. It's
Okay.
going to get you results, right?
Yeah.
But tomorrow you have to start it all over again.
Okay.
So there's no lifespan, there's no longevity. That marketing is, it either will get you something or it's going to go in the trash, but it's not going to help you build your credibility. It's not going to work for you 24/7, and it's not going to help people get to know you. So there's that no like trust factor.
Yes. Which is
Right?
huge. Right.
It's huge. Real estate is, and you've heard it said 1,000 times, it's a relationship business.
Right.
Social media helps build relationships.
Okay.
But more than that, all social media that you do hangs out there always. It's always there. You know, people aren't going to throw it in the recycle bin. They're not going to hang up on it. It is just living out there. And as you fill out your profile and your account with hopefully really educational material or content, and the content that makes you look like a real estate authority, like you really know what you're talking about, all
Yeah.
of these things, they kind of stack together and help build out that know like trust factor and create you as an authority. The other thing too is social media works over time, so it only gets better. Whereas when you have these like outbound strategies that I mentioned before,
Sure.
they go up and then they're nothing, and then
Right.
they shoot up and they're nothing. So adding social media just adds this really stable piece of marketing to all those other efforts. So it helps support everything.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And I love that it has a long life shelf or shelf life. And I guess that's what I meant when I was talking about maybe the difference between, I mean, because an ad to me, because I think in terms of writing an ad, that doesn't have a long shelf life necessarily.
Right.
It can be used to build, credibility and, the know, like, and trust factor, but not like something long term, like, like social media. Um,
Right.
and I think that a lot of people, I know myself in particular, you just expect it to work too quick. You know what I mean? Like it's like I throw a
Mhm.
post out there and I'm thinking, hey, I didn't get 10 calls, but that's not really, I mean, so what is a proper expectation of the result of social media? I mean, what do you think is fair? Do you understand what I mean? Oh, you're freezing up there.
Yeah. No, I know
Okay,
what you mean. Like, well,
perfect.
if, am I back? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
No,
Yeah.
I get it. So you're kind of asking what is the commitment that I should give to social
Yes.
media, and
Yes.
what can I expect? Well, I would say first of all, comparing social media to an outbound strategy, kind of like
Yeah.
what you did. Like I put a post up. How come the phone's not ringing?
Right. Right.
That is a huge mistake
Okay.
because social media it doesn't work like that. The other thing too is your mileage is going to vary. It
Okay.
depends on how often are you posting, what is the content that you're posting,
Okay.
and are you doing the other half of social media, which is to engage with other people,
Okay.
follow other people, like other people. Social media is a two-way street.
Okay.
And so if all you're doing is pushing posts out, your results are not probably going to be that good because you need to be social. That's what makes it go around.
Gotcha. Okay.
Did
So
I
it's
freeze?
yeah, you did a little bit, but you're back.
Okay.
So it's not just you. So the one side is posting. That's the, I guess, the action step, and then and the other side is what? It's uh
It's
so
engaging.
how do you engage? How would you define engaging with people? I mean, how do you do that? What does that look like?
Yeah. So what that looks like is following other accounts,
Okay.
commenting on those accounts,
Okay.
and liking their posts, just basically being an engaged person. So sellers, obviously, you're not going to go out there and like a bunch of motivated sellers because we don't know who they are. They're
Yeah.
hidden in the woodwork.
Okay.
But this is a strategy to help you get in front of people like
Okay.
agents,
Yeah.
wholesalers, private money lenders. Those people are out there, and it is a way for you to stand out and begin building relationships with them so they can refer you, right? Agents and wholesalers are going to bring you deals.
Sure.
And then you got the private money. If you're engaging with them, they're starting to have a discussion, get into a conversation, and that way you guys can probably work together.
That's really cool. So what you're talking about kind of is playing chess. I mean, it's like long term. It's not just the short term game, and it's not just going after the obvious, knock on the seller's door necessarily. It's talk to people that could help to influence the seller's decision, people that they maybe look to.
Yeah.
So you're trying to
100%.
connect with them so that, and that's really an advanced strategy, kind of, don't you think? I mean, it's
Yeah.
yeah. People don't. That's not something that.
100%.
Yeah, you don't normally think that way, but you should, because I think that because most people are not thinking that way, that helps you to set yourself apart. And I think you come across with less pressure too. You're not like a pushy salesperson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. Huh.
Yeah, I love how you put that. I love how you put that. Just it is an advanced strategy, and it's something that, if you were to go to like a social media agency or
Yeah.
outsource this to someone on Fiverr who
Yeah.
who says they know social media, they're not going to be thinking of this because they don't really understand our audience.
Yeah.
And there are really 5 different audiences that we have.
Okay.
We're familiar with contractors because
Yes.
we need contractors, we need wholesalers and other investors. We also need agents,
Yeah.
right? And we need sellers. But the one that people discount is just homeowners,
Hmm.
because homeowners, well, let's say this, motivated sellers used to be just homeowners.
Gotcha.
They weren't motivated.
Yes.
They weren't ready to sell.
Right.
So social media, when you have the right content, it really puts you in a position where you can be in front of people in your community.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be top of mind if they should happen to either become motivated themselves, or if they know of a house down the block from them that
Yeah.
you should be making an offer on.
Yeah. What's cool about that is it's really, like I said, it's advanced because you're not just thinking of today. You're not just thinking of, hey, I need, get the money today. Because honestly, I'd be curious to see what you think about this, but I think probably only, I don't know, maybe 5% of the sellers out there that even the ones that maybe respond, are ready to do something today. Most
True.
of them are, just waiting and kind of, testing the waters, and they may not even be, acknowledging that they have a problem. I mean, any number of things
Yeah.
that really set you up for exactly what you're talking about, where you're just, developing a relationship with them, or with the person that they would consider to be an advisor, you know what I mean? So it's like you're just right in there, right? Man, I love that. So with your clients, obviously you have clients and stuff. What is a maybe an unexpected result that you got for a client that you weren't expecting? Something that happened that just was a surprise.
Yeah, well, so we're talking about how, social media is a long-term strategy, right?
Yes.
I think there were 2 instances. One is that one of my members came and said, "Hey, I just got my first leads off of Instagram," and that was
Nice.
after being in the program for 30 days. I was like,
Okay.
"What?"
Is that short or long? That's
That is
short.
really short. Like
Okay.
I didn't expect that. I really honestly didn't expect that. So that was amazing.
Okay.
And then another member who told me that they use their posts on Pinterest, which is not
Okay.
even a platform that I
You're set up
profess
for.
to use. Yeah, I don't even tell people to use that, but
Okay.
she did. She started using them there, and it got picked up, and I think it got like shared by like 100 people or 200
Wow.
people or something. Yeah, so it like really got legs and really spread out there, and it happened to be a post about private money lending too. So
Really?
Yeah. So hopefully, she got some good leads out of that.
Nice. So every month, do people get brand new content, right?
Yes.
And but are there always going to be targets to those five groups? I don't remember how many groups you
5
mentioned, but
groups.
it's
Yeah,
five.
5
Okay, okay. So you
audiences.
always are going after that same five audience, but it's just going to be new content each month. But those are the ones that you kind of
Yeah.
key in on. I
Correct.
love
Yep.
that, man. That just really sets people up. So if you were asking the questions, you're over here on this side of the screen, you're asking the questions. What should I ask that I'm not asking? I mean, what is there something that you want people to know that I'm not asking you about that you think is important?
Yeah. Okay. So one thing would be a question, can you outsource this? Because
Okay.
still, you may not want to do social media yourself. I mean, it's basically a copy, paste, and post system,
Okay.
but maybe it's just not your jam and you want to outsource it. So
Okay.
REI Social really was built for that, because everything, like I said, it's pre-written, it's pre-designed, and as long as anybody that you're having help you knows how to post on
Yeah.
Facebook, then they can just pick it up and go and ask you, to help them fill in the blanks. So
Okay.
it can be outsourced really easily. And like I said, everything is in the system. And so
Sure.
you don't have to train a VA about real estate investing. You don't have to tell them who your audience is and why they can't say certain
Okay.
things. Uh, so I think that would be one thing. And the other thing too is how much tech experience do you need?
Okay. Good
And
question.
and my answer would be very little. Like I
Okay.
said, as long as you know how to uh, schedule a post or put up a post on social media,
Yeah.
then you're like 90% there.
Got it. And
There's
because
a
go ahead.
little bit of editing inside of, oh, I was going to say there's a little bit of editing inside of Canva, which is a
Okay.
really easy program, but
Yeah.
that's where you can add your logo or you can change the colors of the post. And if you really wanted to, you could even change the images if you wanted. So the whole thing is 100% editable for your brand.
Well, and it sounds like it's pretty easy too, like you said. That because I mean, I think you've made it easy. I mean, it's easy now because of the hard work that you put into it. But once I get to it, I can just basically cut and paste, and and even hand it off to a VA or whatever. Love it.
Yep. Yep.
Love it.
100%.
So let's switch gears a little bit. Tell me what inspires you. I mean, what I mean, books. What is it that really inspires you? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I really do love the learning about mindset,
Okay.
because it's such a critical part about being an entrepreneur and maintaining kind of a good outlook about success.
Yeah.
Because being an entrepreneur it's like fraught with all these ups and downs. And
Oh my
if you
gosh.
if
That's
you don't have
understatement.
the grit and the mindset and just like the positive attitude to
Yeah.
see through that, you're just going to get crushed. And unfortunately, I see a lot of people quitting too early because
Yeah.
they're not able to foster that mindset. So you know that inspires me, making sure, I mean, not only making sure that I am having the right mindset too, but
Yeah.
also the people that I work with and that I'm able to influence and talk to through my Facebook group or sometimes through one-on-ones, just making sure that we're good, that we're set. And I really love that.
Do you have some favorite tools that you use to help with your mindset? I mean, what do you do to help you there?
There's a great app. It's called Optimize.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
basically it's free. They used to charge for it, but now it's free, which
Okay.
is fantastic. And basically what happens is they'll take a book like Grit by Angela Duckworth. I don't know if you know that book.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it though.
Well, you don't need to. So
Okay.
it's sort of like they take this book and they pull out all of the really big potent ideas in the book
Okay.
and they just share that with you. So I listen to it. I listen to it in the shower every day, because then I'm able to digest all these amazing, wonderful books, and really inspires me and gets me like pumped for the day.
I like that. I love Audible. Someone told me today to make the suggestion of doing uh, that you can do get free audiobooks from the library. But I love listening to books, but I like reading them too. I don't think I ever want to stop reading books. Sometimes I listen and read at the same time. Can't do that in the shower, but
It's true.
but
Pages fall apart.
pages fall apart. Yeah, yeah. So let me ask this: what would you say if you had an opportunity to talk to your younger self? I mean, your 18-year-old self. What would you tell the 18-year-old Janine? No, Janae. Janae.
Janae.
Okay, I'll get it the third time is what I'll nail it.
You'll get it. You'll
All
get
right.
it. Yeah, that's actually really an easy question for me. I would
Okay.
say buy more houses.
Oh, okay.
Just freaking
Period.
buy more houses.
Okay.
Yeah, any way you can, do whatever you need to do. Just do it. Start learning all about real estate investing when I'm 18, because
Okay.
man, I frequently think about how far along I could be if that was the case, if I could go back into the past.
Yes. How far we all could be. How old were you when you started investing in real estate? When you bought your first house?
Let's see. That's actually before I even knew real estate investing was a thing that
Okay.
you could do like for a living.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so let me think here. 29. I was 29.
Okay. That was pretty young. That was pretty
Pretty
young.
young. But
Yeah.
I didn't know that real estate investing was
Was
a
a
thing
thing.
that you could repeat.
Yeah.
And so it was more of a house hack. So
Okay.
moved into a house or bought a house that I couldn't afford the whole thing by myself.
Yeah.
And so it had a granny flat. And so I rented that out and made
Okay.
my mortgage payments. So I
Nice.
still own that house today and am renting that out. So
So
that
what?
was a really long strategy, right? That's a
Well,
super
sure.
long-term
But that's
strategy.
but that's cool. Do you
Yeah.
so what is your favorite real estate strategy? I mean, do you
It's
more
buy
like
and
go ahead, buy and hold?
It's buy and holds. Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
right now I'm actually looking about getting into RV parks, and that
Really?
is just like every time I think about it, I just start getting so excited. So I'm actively looking and sourcing my first RV park. So if
Okay.
you or anyone listening to this knows,
Yeah.
hit me up. I'm interested.
I love that. RV parks. I love talking to different real estate investors because everybody, there's different niches. I was talking to a lady today who's focuses on big multifamily stuff. And then there's people that do, as a matter of fact, I do know a guy who, yeah, he does RV parks. Yeah, I maybe can connect you guys up. But yeah, it's just interesting that everybody has so many different things. So
Yep.
I'm, uh oh, shoot.
Am I frozen again?
Yeah, you know what? I think I thought I clicked you off. I hit a button. I've got too many tabs open. There you are. Bam.
Okay.
So
Okay.
last question before I get shut down. How can people connect with you? What is the best way to connect with you? How do they do that?
Yeah, probably the best way is just to connect with me on Facebook.
Okay.
So find me on Facebook, and I don't know if you put like my contact information on the post or whatever,
Yeah,
but
I will.
I can
Yes.
shoot that over, and
Perfect.
yeah, so that would be the best way just to get in touch and say hi. But
Okay.
also joining my Facebook group is another great way, because I make an appearance in there regularly, and
Okay.
that's also where you're going to learn more about just using social media as an investor.
Okay. Nice. So we'll try again. Janae. Did I get it right?
That's it. You
Janae.
got it.
Nice. Okay. I told you the third time. I appreciate your time and I love your videos. And I would love it if this is not the last time we connect. We maybe have to do maybe we could do a series on some kind of special aspect of social media. I don't know. We'll come up with something. But I
would love
appreciate your
it. I
time.
would
Yeah.
love it.
Well,
Yeah.
great. Well,
Love
listen.
talking with you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh,
I
yeah.
certainly appreciate
The
it.
pleasure's all mine. So you have a great weekend and we'll talk again real soon. Okay.
Sounds good. All
Okay.
right. Bye,
Take care.
Rufus.
Bye now.